Welcome to this video. My name is Julie if you're new here, and this is going to be a traveling and reading vlog. As you might know if you have watched some of my last videos, I'm going to move to England for a semester abroad, and I'm just going to take you with me on my traveling journey and yeah, just me moving to England. It's going to be a pretty difficult journey, even though I'm from Germany and it's not actually a long way, but somehow I managed to find the most complicated way to get there. I'm going to Reading, by the way, if you don't know where that is. It's around 30 minutes from London by train, and I'm going to be there for 3 months. And the way I'm going to get to London is first I'm going to take a train, which is going to take me around 6 hours to get to an airport. And I don't know why, but I just thought it wouldn't take me that long because it is a Frankfurt airport, and Frankfurt actually isn't that far from the town where I live at. It's I think around 3 hours, but this is not the normal Frankfurt airport. It's the airport that is just way further outside and just really inconvenient. I have to go by a train and then I have to take the bus after. Really not the best situation, but we're going to manage. It's all going to go fine, I'm sure of it. And because the train is that early and there's no other way to really get there without being too late, I'm going to be 4 hours early at the airport. The bus after I take the train is going to be there at 7:30, and then my flight is going to go at 11:30. And then I'm going to land in London at around a little after midnight, I think, because of the time difference. And then I'm going to stay the night at the London airport, and then I'm going to go to Reading. That is way too complicated because actually the whole flight just takes 1.5 hours. And yeah, I don't know, that wasn't the smartest decision. But I have a lot of traveling time, which means that I get to read on the train and hopefully also on the plane, or maybe I'm going to be sleeping. That also maybe wouldn't be bad because I had a short night. I have already downloaded some books that I plan to read, and I got them on my library app. I'm not going to take any physical books. I'm not going to drag these around for 3 months. And the books that I got are As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson, which is the third part of the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, I guess. And I really like the first two. I really like the investigation part. I like that it's so not scary because it's YA and it's not that bad. And I'm not usually a fan of thrillers or things that are scary because, yeah, they scare me. And this is fine. This is the level that I can take. So, yeah. I used to read a lot of thrillers. I'm not doing that anymore because I'm scared. But maybe I'm going to pick up some thrillers in the near future. I really want to, but I'm scared. Sometimes you have to do scary things. Another book that I got from my library is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and I think this is going to be good because I just heard a lot of great things about this. There's so many people recommending this on especially Book Talk and also BookTube, and yeah, just everybody seems to kind of love this. I haven't really gotten any spoilers yet, and I honestly have to say I don't know that much about it, but it's probably going to be cool because I like the cover. That's the most important thing, right? But I do remember someone talking about this, and I think they said that it was also like this murder mystery thing because there's this dude who died and he gave all of his money to this girl and she didn't even know him, and now his family is pissed. I think that was kind of the plot, but I could be wrong. So we're going to see how that goes. And I also got Bridgerton, the second or third part, I don't know. I think it's the second part. And I did watch the series until the second season. Yeah, I don't know. I only read the first book and I did binge read that. But I don't know if I will be really interested in the second part, and I just got this book to try it out and maybe I won't like it. But maybe it's going to be great. Who knows? Who knows? I don't really read any historical fiction or any historical romance. I'm not usually into that, but something in the first Bridgerton book really got me. And yeah, we're going to see how if I will like this or not. If I won't, then you probably won't hear me talking about this again, because then I'm just going to DNF it. But yeah, that's that. And then I also want to download some audiobooks just to have some variation. And I think I'm going to go with L. Kennedy because that is an author that I know I like. And I usually tend to enjoy her books, so it's just a safe choice. Because, you know, when you're traveling, you don't want to have any books that are totally new to you or things that you don't know if you will enjoy, and then you end up not having anything you like. This is the first part of the Evelyn Bay series, and the title is Good Girl Complex. And yeah, that is my choice for an audiobook. But I also downloaded a bunch of other stuff that maybe I will try, and then I'm going to tell you about it. So yeah, I will see you when I'm traveling. Hello, so I just arrived in Reading. Actually, I arrived 2 days ago. It is Tuesday now, Tuesday evening, and I arrived on Sunday morning. And my travel didn't really go as planned. It was quite an adventure. I left my home at Saturday around noon, I would say, because I had to give my keys to the new tenant who will take over my rent while I'm gone. And I first went by train, and that all went really well, which I didn't even expect, but yeah, I didn't even have any delays or anything. And then I arrived in Koblenz, which is a rather small town, and they had to take a bus, and I thought it would be like a shuttle bus that would take you to the airport. But no, it was just the really regular bus that normal citizens are taking every single day to drive around town and get to other places. But it was 1.5 hours with that bus to get to the airport. And yeah, the bus was pretty full, obviously, because it was the last bus that was going that day to get to the airport. And that was fun because it was really hot, and there wasn't any air conditioning in the bus. And yeah, it was the annoying part of the journey. Let's just say it like that, because the train traveling I actually like. There was this really scenic view that you already saw, and then my flight was also 40 minutes delayed, and it actually took more like an hour to leave after the actual time that it was supposed to leave, which means that I also arrived in the UK way too late, around 1 o'clock in the morning. And I was pretty tired at that point, and I had booked a hotel, so I took a shuttle bus from London Stansted to the Premier Inn, which is the hotel. And I arrived there and I told them my name for the booking so they could give me my key and my room number, and the guy was like, "Oh, I can't find anyone under that name." And I was like, are you sure? Did you get my name right? Because sometimes people can mess up names when they're from different countries. And I gave him my booking reference number, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I can actually find that booking reference number, but it's booking that was made for December, not for September." And I was like, no way. And yeah, I was just a little bit stupid when I booked that. I was also pretty tired. Not the best idea to make your bookings when you're tired, and I also don't know why I didn't, like, usually I double check every single thing, but I think it was because that's actually the date that I want to go back home that I thought I had the right booking, just because the date was so familiar to me, because I was also looking at flights back at home, and So they didn't have a booking for the night, just for the 16th of December, just didn't help at all. And then I asked them if they have any more rooms left, and they were just fully booked. And they recommended to me that I should go to the hotel next door, which was, I think, a Holiday Inn or something. And I went there and they were also fully booked, and I didn't want to like go any further and take a bus to different hotels all night and just try to get a room, because that didn't really make any sense. So I just went back to Stansted Airport, which was luckily open the whole night, and I spent the night there, which was interesting. I have never really spent the night at an airport, and I was surprised about how many people actually do that. There were so many people staying there the whole night and just waiting for I don't even know what. I don't think they were waiting for flights. Maybe some were, but I think most people were waiting for trains or coaches to take them somewhere else, and that's what I did as well. I just waited until the first train was going to Reading, which was at 5:30 in the morning, a lovely time to take a train, but I was actually glad that it was that early because I didn't have to wait any longer, because I didn't really want to sleep at the airport. Some people actually did, but I didn't want to risk my stuff getting stolen or anything. And actually it was not that inconvenient, because they had some charging, like you could charge your phone, and the stores were open as well. There was a Boots where I bought some water, and then also the Costa coffee randomly opened at like I think 3 in the morning, and so I could just get a coffee and yeah, just sit around waiting, and also try to book my train ticket, which I accomplished. Yeah, so I actually only waited for like 4 hours at the airport, which isn't too long. You can make 4 hours pass, especially if you have like stuff to organize. And I also had my ebook, and I just read a little bit, and then I started texting my friends, and my other friend that also went to Reading actually answered at like 5 in the morning because she was catching her flight. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. Even though that would have happened a few years earlier to me, I would have just cried. I would have been a mess. But somehow in that situation I was just like, oh, that's fine, I'll just stay at the airport. So yeah, then I took a train to Reading, which was really cool and really pretty, because I got to take the Elizabeth line, which is a really new underground service. I went from Liverpool station to Paddington with that, and then I just took like the Great Western Railway, I think it is. And I arrived really early in Reading and got my room key. Everything was so well organized here. It was really awesome. Everybody was being so kind. The bus driver was awesome, and also on my way from the airport to Reading I got asked like 3 times if I needed help. Maybe I just looked really confused. Probably that was it, but also I found that it was really nice that people were being so considerate and lovely, and it's been awesome. Since I arrived, many things have happened already. I have met so many great people, I've met so many international students. There are so many activities here that you can just join and meet people, which I don't really know from my university because it's so much smaller, and here it's like 20,000 students, and that's a bit overwhelming as well, but it makes everything easier, at least for me, because people are so used to people coming in from other countries, and yeah, they just know how to deal with stuff and also who to contact in which situation, and there's like a special person for everything, which helps tremendously. And also the study abroad advisor, he's really nice. He's such a kind person, and he even knows some people by name, which I think is mind-boggling, because he is just one person. There's one other person, so there are 2 people taking care of 170 students, and he still manages to answer all of his emails that quickly and takes care of everything. He's just lovely, really. He's just the most sweet person that I have met, and you can really tell that he cares with all his heart, and he wants everyone to have the best experience, and yeah, just really great. There's some issues still with choosing modules and stuff, which courses to take, and every nearly everyone has these problems, and they will be sorted out until the end of the week. So this week is just the welcome week. It's like freshers week, and people are just getting to know each other. There's many social events and stuff, and I really enjoy that. It's so cool, and it's just all feels like being in a movie. I love England so much. I love Reading as a city. It's really beautiful. I like the architecture here. There's so many old buildings. The whole university campus is really pretty, and there are old buildings mixed with newer ones, and there's also loads of parks and green spaces, and yeah, it just feels really welcoming. Also, the student union is organizing loads of events, also just for international students, but also where you can actually get to meet British people, which is also nice, and not just people from all over the world, but also people who live here, to learn a little bit more about their culture maybe as well. And yeah, yesterday evening there was a pizza night, and tonight there's also pizza night. I don't know, they seem to really like pizza. I understand that, and yeah, it just really makes it a lot easier to get in contact with people. And yeah, that's that so far. And now I've talked so much about uni and arriving here, and probably I'm going to do that a lot in this vlog because it's my first week and I'm really excited about everything. But I have also done some reading, obviously, which was really good as well. I definitely made the right choices with the books that I chose for my audiobook and also my ebook. So I did read The Inheritance Games, and I'm around a quarter in right now, and I like that book so much, and I think it will really depend on how the story progresses if I will really enjoy it in the end or not, because it's this mystery type of story. In these stories it's always about the twists and the ending that really makes or breaks the story. But so far I really think it's so cool. I like the premise of it a lot. It's about this girl who's called Avery, and she gets a visit by this guy who comes to her school and just says she has to come to this testament reading because she is in the testament, and otherwise the testament can be read. Or the guy who passed away has requested that she is at that reading. And it turns out that the guy that passed away, he's a Hawthorne, and that means that he is really, really rich. He was so wealthy. I think he had around 40 billion. I never know how much that is in English because we call it something else in German, but I think it's billion, and that's just doesn't even matter what if it's millions or billions. That's just so much money. Yeah, so he was really, really rich, and then they go to the testament reading, and it turns out that she is actually the one who should inherit all of this money. But there is one request, and that request is that she stays in the house of that guy for a whole year. And yeah, oh no, I think they have 4 Hawthorne brothers and 2 sisters who actually also want to get a piece of the cake, at least some of them. Some of them don't seem to care as much, but you never know. And some of them also seem to see it as this kind of riddle that their father has given to them, because he was really into giving clues and riddles and solving these little mysteries, and he always made the brothers compete in that. So yeah, they also all received this letter by the old Hawthorne, and so far none of them have really made any sense, and it's like this mystery to find out what that actually means, why he decided to give his money to Avery, because she isn't really related to them as far as we know and as far as she knows, and they didn't even have any kind of contact before it. So yeah, there's definitely this mystery around why she is the chosen one to inherit all of this, because she comes from a rather poor background and isn't really a person that has many chances in life so far. Her mother has also passed away, I think, because of leukemia maybe. Her dad is not present in her life, so it wasn't easy for her. She lives with her sister, her half sister, and yeah, now she gets to have all this wealth and doesn't really know what to do with it. And she has to find her way in this new life, but she also has to stay there for a year, being separated from everything she knows and staying there with all these brothers. And people that are trying to manipulate her or take that money away from her, or yeah, there's also an aunt that tries to legally fight the testament and stuff, so there's many things to unpack, and yeah, it's really, really cool. I like it so far. I just realized in the last few years and months that I really enjoy mysteries if they aren't thrillers. So I don't know, maybe this is kind of a thriller because the person died, but not really. It's not scary or anything, and I like that. I like that here, I like that in fantasy books, and I also like that in like YA stories in general, like in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, for example. And the other book that I have started is the first part of the Evelyn Bay series by L. Kennedy, and I also really enjoyed that. And I actually had the situation where I was like, oh, now I want to continue that book, I want to continue listening, but I also want to continue reading the Inheritance Game. So yeah, both of these are really interesting and I like them a lot, and I'm really happy that I can continue reading them right now, because for me personally that's quite a lot of free time that I have here this week. I don't know what it will be like after that. And the book in that series, Good Girl Complex by Ed Kennedy, is about Mackenzie, and she is fresh at uni, and she only goes there because of her family. She has already founded a company, and her family still wants her to go to uni to get more experience in, I don't know, a professional, like a more theoretical setting, I don't know. She doesn't really want to go because she thinks she just wants to keep running her business, but they won't really let her, because I think they're also pretty rich, and therefore they have a lot to say about her money and her inheritance as well. And Mackenzie has a boyfriend. She has been with him for a couple of years, and it's kind of this arranged relationship because his parents are also wealthy and they know each other from clubs and stuff, and that's why they kind of introduced them to each other, and yeah, that's the reason why they're dating now. So it's not really a romantic reason, even though they seem to love each other, or like there seems to be at least this kind of mutual understanding that they will spend the rest of their lives together and get married. And he does some sweet stuff for her, like getting all her stuff from home and bringing it to university, and yeah, stuff like that. Just some cute gestures. But from the prologue we know that her boyfriend actually isn't that great of a guy, because he gets into a fight with Cooper. Cooper lives in the same town that Meg and her boyfriend study at, and he currently works at a bar, and that is where he and her boyfriend get in a fight, because her boyfriend is treating some girls really badly and Cooper doesn't have it. He wants to defend the other waitresses, and that's how they clash, and he actually loses his job because of that. And then he decides that he should choose a way to get back to him, or not really him, but it's more his friends that do that, and they kind of somehow pressure him into it, but not really. He also likes the idea that he should just try to get to Mackenzie, his girlfriend, and that he should try to get with her and try to flirt with her and make her realize that she doesn't want to be with her boyfriend anymore. And he's setting some rules for himself that he won't do anything really bad, but I don't know if that is like morally right. But he is also a bad boy. He is described as a bad boy because he has some tattoos, he likes to be with a lot of girls, and he also gets in trouble sometimes. So yeah. And he also has a twin brother that looks just like him, and at a party him and Mackenzie then meet, Cooper and Mackenzie meet, and her roommate actually says that she has heard about these two brothers and that she wants to get with one of them. And yeah, that leads to an awkward situation where they then meet, and yeah, that's yeah. But Cooper tries to flirt with Mackenzie then, and she kind of says that she just wants to be friends with him because she's in a relationship, and they decide to just try and be friends. Well, I think it's actually Cooper that says that to her. And yeah, so they decide to meet up again because they both agree that they should just be friends, and still they are somehow flirting. And yeah, there's this morally grey zone of her boyfriend being an idiot, and therefore it's being kind of okay with me that they are doing that. But usually I would say, like, that's not okay, you shouldn't be doing that. But yeah, I think this is just a good girl, bad boy romance, and he is being a bad boy and she isn't like a really good girl because she's thinking about, I don't know. But I really like the tension between the main characters in the story so far. I'm usually not a fan of miscommunication tropes or anything, and I think that could become a problem because he has this bet with his friends that he will get with her, and she doesn't know that, obviously. So he is pretending to just wanting to be her friend or actually liking her, and I don't think that's just pretend, or he's just doing that because she's someone that he would actually date in real life, or like real life, if it wasn't for the bet or him getting back at her boyfriend. So yeah, I don't really know what to think about that yet. But anyway, tension is great. Interesting setup, interesting story, and we'll see how it goes. I think there's going to be a lot of drama in the end, and as you maybe know, I'm not a huge fan of that, but we'll see. Okay, so now I will get ready and go to that pizza event. Also, have you seen that? I won these fairy lights at a tombola, or like this raffle, which was held somewhere at a different hall on the first day, and that was so cool and convenient because this room really looks like nothing much because it's just a student dorm and there's not much in it, but this kind of is the thing that I like the most about the room now, because it's just giving at least some cozy vibes, and it's getting a little bit colder here now, so yeah, we are slowly transitioning into fall. And yeah, I will update you when I'm further into these books, and also about all of the exciting stuff that's happening this week, because there's loads more, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm really glad I made that decision to spend a semester abroad, and yeah, I can really only recommend that if you're thinking about doing that, do it. Hello, welcome back. It's been a while, it's been a few weeks, but that's fine. I'm just going to update you. So, what have I done in the meantime? I've had a really good time, actually. The first few weeks it was a little bit stressful because we had to choose our courses, and that's obviously a really stressful thing to do. especially if you only have a week to do it and you have to make your decision, and you know, after that it's really not possible to change it anymore, and you don't know the courses here and you don't know what they will expect of you and the content of the course. And yeah, but all of my courses were overlapping and nothing seemed to work out, but in the end it was really fine and I got all the courses I wanted. I'm taking 3 courses this semester. The first one is user-centered design, which makes total sense because that's what I do at work. The second one is cinema, spectacle and technology, which I am so excited about. It's about film, and we're watching a film every single week and then we're going to discuss it in a group discussion. Really stoked. Really interesting content. And then the third one is one that I just had to choose because there's limited credits, and that is intercultural competence and communication. Well, we'll see how that goes. I'm not really that excited about that one because it's just not about design or art or film or whatever, but I think it will still be interesting because it's a course you have with a lot of other international students, so there might even be a chance to connect with some of them, and I have it with my friend, so we'll at least be together in that one. My flat has also been great so far. There's like one girl that I haven't seen yet at all, but other than that all my flatmates are really nice and I think we'll get along great. And then we already did one trip. We did a trip to Brighton, which was organized by the study abroad team, like the study abroad office, and that was really cute. I went there with my friend and her flatmates, so she lives in a different dorm than I do, and she has lots of flatmates. I think she has 10 or so, and some of them are also international students, and they came with us, and yeah, they're really nice. I had a really good time. We just didn't do anything too touristy. We just went to the beach, to the pier of course to look at it, but then we just went to eat some food, went to did a little stroll around the city, to the palace, and then we went shopping, like thrift shopping, and that was really cool. I found a really nice sweater. Let me get that sweater. I want to show it to you. Okay, I got it. I think this might be my new favorite sweater now, because look at this. It's got dinosaurs on it. Isn't that cute? I love it. I'm so happy I found it, and I'm so happy I bought it because I was a bit hesitant at first because we just had like 10 minutes time and I hate making rush decisions, but then I just went for it and yeah, I have it now. Really happy about it. On campus there's obviously also a huge library because there's like 25,000 students here, which is a lot for like what I'm used to. So yeah, there's a library and I went there already. Obviously that's where I got my cup and everything, and I also got some books, obviously, duh. And the books that I got are actually ones that came in this little, like they were packaged like a present, and you could just choose them randomly, like you didn't know what was in there, and there was this huge pile and you could just go for it. And I think it's had like a vibe or sentence or something in the beginning, but nothing that would give away what kind of book this is really. And I got 2 books. First one is The Memory of Animals by Claire Fuller. And the second one is one that I've wanted to read for a really long time. It's called On Earth We Are Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. And I think this even was on some Goodreads list for like the best book in the last 10 years list or something like that. So yeah, that's one that you should definitely pick up, I guess. I haven't read it yet, so I can't tell, but I guess. And then another book that I picked up
which wasn't in one of those, packages, is The Handmaid's Tale. I've already read that, but this is the graphic novel. And I am so excited about this. Like, oh my god, the illustrations are really, really beautiful. I love the style of it. I think it fits the vibe of the book really well. And it actually tells the story really well as well. Wow, what was that sentence? Yeah, so that's that. I also got that. I already read it. It's really amazing. I can highly recommend this if you don't want to read a novel, or if you have read a novel, or yeah, just in general. I would really recommend this because it tells the story really well actually. It's really amazing how you can reduce something to pictures and just smaller sentences and it still works. Okay, yeah, that's how graphic novels works. Thank you, Julie. Well, these have been my weeks so far. I've had a cold. I think you can maybe tell from my voice. It's been really annoying, but I think it's getting better now, so yeah. I'm just still getting used to all of this. Getting used to going shopping in the UK. Like, grocery shopping in the UK is really different for some reason. Getting used to living in a dorm, which I have not that much experience with. In Germany we usually don't live in dorms. But I'm so excited for everything that I still have planned for this semester. There's going to be some traveling that I'm going to do. I'm going to go to London a few times, and in the end my friend is going to come visit me, and yeah, I'm just really excited, really happy. Now I also want to tell you about the 2 books that I read. I don't even remember which books I've told you about, but I definitely know that I definitely remember that I told you about the Inheritance games, and this one I loved so much. It was really refreshing and I liked the story a lot, and just I got really excited by the format and the storytelling and this kind of scavenger hunt style, and it kind of reminded me of Good Girl Bad Blood. So yeah, I finished that one and I'm excited to read the second part, which is going to be a little bit more difficult because my library doesn't have it available until sometime next year in March or something. I don't know why that is. Apparently this series is really popular. But yeah, I love that. Really good plotline and pacing of the story. Yeah. The other book was the one by L. Kennedy. Don't even remember the title. But I actually DNF'd that one, and that is such a shame because L. Kennedy is an author that I usually really enjoy and like, but this one for some reason just wouldn't click with me. But this one for some reason I just didn't click with. It's just, I think it had to do with this millionaire thing again, because I'm just a little bit over that. Like, the heroine, it was just so unbelievable that she was like, I worked for all of this and that's why I'm a millionaire, and I worked really hard and I made my way to the top on my own, even though my parents are super rich and I'm not privileged at all, and I'm going to be with this dude who will accept me, who will still accept me even though he thought that people like me are really stupid and he never wants to have anything to do with them. And I just didn't buy it. I didn't buy the relationship. I just thought it didn't fit the characters really well, and yeah, then the relationship problems started coming in. I was just like, oh my god, no, I don't think I need to finish this. So yeah, that was a shame. But it's fine. I'm just going to continue reading. Don't know what I will read next, but I think I will do like an update in the end of my semester here. Okay, so thank you so much for watching my first few weeks in the UK, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!